Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. Here on Fanspeak, it's time for some DraftKings. I'm here with Tyler, another DK millionaire. Welcome back, fanspeak.com. Chad Candles in the chat. Tyler is with me. Tyler, we got a little bit to talk about today. Let's talk about the news real quick, and then we will dive right in. I know we didn't get to all of it last week, so of course, with these draft landing spots, these guys have been moving up and down the draft board. When we drafted last week, Tyler, the contests had been up for like 2 to 3 hours. I'll be curious to see how some of these ADPs moved, especially on the darlings, such as like Loveland and who's the kid, RJ Harvey. Is that the one that went to Denver?
Yeah, he's the running back, went to Denver.
Right. I mean, those two guys are definitely going to be popular. And let's see if there's some drops as well. So how you doing today? And do you have any hot takes for the National Football League before I start asking you a question?
I'm doing good today. I mean, happy to get another draft in this week. I mean, we'll talk some division futures during the show while we're waiting for the lobby to fill up in between picks. But outside of like the really news we have to talk about, it's not even a position we're going to be drafting today, Spread. Baltimore released Justin Tucker last night.
Yeah, I actually that was going to be my thing to talk about.
Now, my question to you is it because he did miss 8 kicks last year, so it seems like he's starting to fall off a little bit. How much of it is the lawsuit that he's dealing with and all that, and how much of it is his play falling off?
It's 100% the play falling off. Do you think
that
if he would have made every kick last year, you don't think they would have found a way to keep him on the roster?
You're probably right.
He was still nails from 50 yards. It's completely the play. If you're good enough, they'll overlook anything. We talked about this last week with the guy who got drafted to, where did he end up? Baltimore, right?
Yeah, Mike Green.
Yeah, if he wasn't good, no one's going to draft him. I think it's the same way. You know, maybe they would have cut him anyways, but I just think it made the decision easy. But I think it's completely on the play. If he had been the same player where he was automatic in winning games, they would have looked around it. They would have waited for the full investigation to release. They would have supported him in this trying time, you know, but you miss 8 field goals and, hey, you know, hit the road, buddy.
No, I agree. So I was thinking it was more of that too. But interested to see how that plays out because they did draft that kicker late. So we'll see how their kicking game goes from now on.
And I think that's what they waited for, right?
Yeah, they waited to
make sure they had the replacement. Yeah.
Yep. They weren't just going to cut him on a whim, so. Outside of that, I think that's really the only news that's come in the NFL. Like, outside of that, it's just they really haven't hit camps yet. So these guys are not on the field doing much. I mean, we could sit here and break down the Cleveland Browns quarterback room, and you can tell me who's going to start, and I can tell you how a different guy's going to start. But
who do you think's going to start?
I think Shador's going to start.
Oh, never mind. We're agreed then.
Okay, he might not get week 1, but he's going to be the guy in the end.
How could he not?
I think Kenny Pickett will probably be the outside looking in guy that gets cut or traded. There's no way they trade Dylan Gabriel this fast, right?
Who's trading for Kenny Pickett?
Backup quarterback spot.
Where?
You're asking the wrong guy, Spread.
He might not even be the 64th best quarterback.
We get into preseason, someone's backup gets hurt. They just want a guy on the roster. Yeah. Drop him in for a 7th round pick.
It has to be like a 7th rounder, right? I mean,
yeah, you're not getting anything for him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Right. Would you? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're not getting value for him when I say you're going to trade him. It just, they're going to get to that point where it's time to cut players in the preseason before the regular season. Some of these guys get traded. He probably gets dumped for a 7th round pick.
Yeah. All right. You want to just start it right now, and then let's see how long it takes, and we can continue.
We earned ourselves a ticket with the last draft because I believe DK's doing that deal where when you draft a team, you get a ticket. So we're going to use our ticket today. So go ahead, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't know what's drafts.
Did we get in?
I don't know what it's doing.
You know, it was funny that I saw while I was
Not
scrolling my
letting me
feed
in.
today. Oh,
That's
okay.
nice. Just log me out.
Okay. You know, it's funny while I was scrolling the feed today on YouTube. The one that jumped up was rookies that we're targeting. Megan Steve, and they're doing Cam Scattervoo. I said, "Oh, these guys are going to love that, right?"
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they're making
I
plenty.
wish he would have landed somewhere different than the Giants.
I know, isn't that a terrible line to land under?
Such a terrible landing spot.
Tyrone
Sorry
Tracy's
for everyone
pretty
who's trying to get in
good.
the draft with us. I don't know what happened there.
All
So
right,
let's
let's
try
try
this
and count
again.
it down again. Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go.
All right, how many are we waiting on?
5. It shouldn't take long
I
at
was
all.
hoping to have more of our homies in here today. Pretty quiet chat. I see Chad Candles in there, and I'm assuming that's Meg on the chat. So Tyler, I was listening to some content today, and I could tell I was hungry or just in a bad mood because it was annoying me. But they were having an interesting Malik Neighbors versus Brian Thomas Jr. debate. Where do you fall there? Who do you think will have the better season, Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr.?
I think Thomas probably has the better season. If you ask me who's the better overall player, I slightly edge Neighbors.
But for our
fantasy, who's going to score more fantasy points? Brian Thomas.
You think so?
I think so because it's just Neighbors doesn't have much to help draw attention away from him. His quarterback situation, if Jameis was his quarterback all year, I would favor Neighbors to score more points because he would just light it up with Jameis. But like if we get some Russ games, then they end up with DeVito, and then they go to Dart. Like they could be all over the place. Hunter as the number 2 in Jacksonville is going to draw so much attention away from Brian Thomas. It's just going to help him out in the end. So I think it's definitely Brian Thomas.
All right. Steve has Thomas should have more TD upside. Yeah. So definitely more on underdog, but I still think Neighbors has a chance for that huge target share.
Go ahead, hit the refresh button.
If you were to guess, what would you put the over under for Jackson Dart starts? 4.5?
I'd probably bet the under on a 4.5.
You don't think he'll even start 5 games?
No, because I think they run the I think they go with the vets first. I think Russ starts or Jameis starts. They go to the other one first before Dart because you're not going to go Russ starts week 1 to 5. You go to Dart, and if Dart's not good, you're not going to yank Dart off the field and put Winston in there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to go with the vets first. I think the guy who doesn't play at all is probably DeVito. The only way he plays is if they all get banged up. We're picking 7th in a spread.
Right?
Yeah, they have all 4 of them right now.
I think DeVito's got to go.
He probably ends up being the guy cut. But I won't be surprised if they end up cutting one of the vets.
You can't keep DeVito. He's not even an NFL quarterback.
I mean, I agree.
All right.
It's the Giants we're talking about. Are they even an NFL team?
It was so funny when we were on the show with Keg. He called the Jets the 2nd worst franchise.
Well, I mean, the Giants
argue with them.
I've seen the Giants win 2 Super Bowls in my 28 years. So, like,
no, he's saying in the whole NFL.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Giants are terrible right now, but like they're not the worst franchise.
Oh, I don't even think the Giants are even close to being on that list.
No,
the Giants have
as of like the last 10 years, they've just been terrible.
So I'm assuming that he had Cleveland number 1, and I wanted to be like a little like Las Vegas.
No, you guys had some years in there.
You know, try and get a pity party going for me, but there's no way I can argue that. The only one I would consider to be worse than New York as a franchise is Jacksonville. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, but they've had their highs in the last, 10 10 years. They made an AFC championship game. They held the best defense in the league for a couple of years. Mind you, they couldn't get the quarterback spot right until Trevor Lawrence, it looks like, and we're still not even sure on that.
Are they even right? And that's why I'm wondering if some of this Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter love is a little overblown. Just the idea that, like, I mean, so I was listening to a pod earlier, and they made a good point. It was actually a different pod that wasn't annoying me, but I'd already eaten, so that could have something to do with it. But, you know, when it comes in and it was, you know, I was eating it up. Where did we land?
Pick 7.
That's not bad.
Justin Jefferson going 2.
I got to go full screen,
3.
So.
Get some. All right, there goes Barkley off the board at 5. CD.
No, and we're not going to.
Nope.
Whatever.
All right, do we want to go wide out, or what do you want to do here?
Your choice.
Or we can go one of the running backs. We got a lot of Henry. Actually, we don't have any Henry in the Millymaker. Let's get some.
No, but we're not getting more Henry here. We got to take Genty over Henry, right?
I mean, I'd rather take Henry. Take Henry.
That's crazy. We just took Derrick Henry over Ashton Genty, huh? All right, fair enough.
I can't believe you could say those words with a straight face.
No, I mean,
give me the best running back in the league for the last 12 years.
I'd say draft good players on good teams, right? I mean, let's see, where were we?
Let me pull up the big board. We'll actually come back pretty quickly. We're up in 10, so
yeah, it's gonna make it a little harder here. But I see these guys chatting.
I also feel like we'll get a much better wide receiver here on the turn than we would a running back, and we needed one of the studs. I think Derrick Henry's winning Offensive Player of the Year this year, so I'm all in on that. 14-1 Offensive Player of the Year. If Saquon didn't have his record-breaking year last year, Derrick Henry would have easily won that Offensive Player of the Year. Don't you think he's just going to repeat what he did last year, and then just going to look at his stats and go, it's his turn?
All right, good point. I can't argue with that. I'm going to read a couple comments, and then we'll figure out our next pick. Meg says, glad you liked our rookie series. Scattaboo love is there. Caleb Johnson has gotten the most views. Absolutely do love his landing spot with the Steelers. Guys, quick listens. Like these live drafts are long, and, you know, we kind of just talk sometimes.
We're up in 2 pick spread. We're up in 1.
The rookie series is – all right, switch over. The rookie series are like 15 to 20 minutes, and it's all info. All
Drake London or A.J. Brown?
Drake London. Just the target shares he got with
target share, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, anyways, you know, just cut it short, but make sure that you guys are checking out those. It's quicker. It's not like just sitting here with the live draft or what's in the news. You know, I mean, it's all focused, quick takes, and they're great. So I know you guys can't hang. Well, maybe some of you guys can, but for those of you who can't hang out all the drafts, make sure you're checking out that rookie series.
Now looking through,
said, I started drafting Henderson, Johnson, and Cam as my running backs on DK. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just looking through the teams that have drafted 2 players already, outside of our start, I think this St. Brown A-Chain start is my other favorite. I mean, there's a Genty McConkey. They do have the AFC West going in that little one.
Yeah.
And you do have an NFC East build going here with Lamb and Brown. These two with
I think I like that
2
one.
wide receivers are solid.
I think I like Lamb Brown.
I really like this little balance build of going and getting maybe 2 and 2 right off the bat and having 2 studs at each spot and filling in from there.
What do you think the chance our guy at number 1 who already drafted Chase and Higgins gets Burrow?
Oh, I mean, it's a good chance he gets
He's going to have to reach for him.
There goes the first quarterback off the board, right? And Jaden Daniels. So we still have Josh Allen. You still have
how do you? I mean, you know me. I love Jaden Daniels. Oh, I was going to tease Meg too. It's so funny. We're not worried about his injury history anymore. But how do you take him over Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? That's just wild to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not like running back, you know, with Saquon where it's like, well, he had 2,000 carries last year. Like, these guys don't regress. Well, okay. So he's excited. I'm be interested to see if he mixes and matches with some Terry and some Debo.
All right. I think
we're up right now.
Lamar.
What? Okay.
Just
I mean,
get
I
the
just said I liked
backfield.
him more than Jay
Get the
Daniels.
backfield. They win
He
14
was-
games. They score 30 points a game. We should have a lot of that touchdown share.
That means we got to look for Zay Flowers.
Look for Zay Flowers. We could look for Likely. We could look
Uh-huh.
for our guy Mark Andrews spread.
Oh, fuck. Now I see what you were doing. This was the long ploy to get us to draft Mark Andrews.
I was doing the WWE storyline on you just to be able to.
Oh
go
my
draft
gosh,
Mark
long-term
Andrews.
storytelling.
My guy Steve likes our start.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. All right. So we did that spunky one. Clyde, we'll talk about NBA here in an hour. Chad says it's so hard for me to click Henry in 2025. The toughest.
Welcome to the
clicks
LeBron of
off
NFL, where it's just never going to end.
Don't say that, bro. I'm so ready for that to be over. Did you see that guy faked an injury? His fake limp. Unbelievable. You notice every time he loses, he's hurt. Remember when he got hurt and he wore that stupid cast? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Steve says, I can't count on Henry. He's so good, especially on an elite offense. If he doesn't get 12 TDs, I'd be shocked. Same here. All
this
right,
guy
let's
went and
pick
got
our
the
pick,
Brian
and then I'm
Thomas,
going to go
Travis
back
Hunter
to the comment.
stack. I like that.
Yeah, I guess.
And we're up in 2. Let's.
I just don't believe in Trevor, bro. Like, how many times will we believe in Trevor and he let us down?
Looking at this board spread, I like James Cook. I like DJ Moore, and
we don't like James Cook.
I mean, his contract.
You're the one who's been drafting Ray Davis left and right.
I mean, yeah, but James Cook shouldn't be on the board right now. He just went, so we don't.
Thank
have to worry
God
about
he's
him.
gone. We should screw that guy and take Joe.
Should be
Burrow.
DJ Moore or Hampton if we.
Scroll down
I'm down
a
for
little
some
bit.
DJ Moore if he makes it. I'd rather have the wide receiver.
I would too. I kind of want to scroll down a little bit against Ted McMillan.
I think DJ Moore. I think we might. He went, so let's get.
I'm just saying, if DJ Moore's gone,
here's the thing: do we go Tet or do we complete the Baltimore stack?
we should go Zay. We gotta go Zay. Wow.
Do we go? Or how many are we up in?
He's not coming back. Draft Zay. All right.
Cross our fingers.
Got to go back to the chat, and then I want to talk crap about Trevor today. He's the guy that I'm down on today. Clyde says I'm looking like a lumberjack. Yeah, dude.
You stole my joke. I called you a lumberjack.
He has some good jokes sometimes.
He does.
So Steve likes our start.
From me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's better to steal a good joke than make a bad
On Joe
one.
Burrow got took from our guy that had the Chase Higgins.
Good. That's what you get for trying to do that.
That is good because we're completing our stack and he didn't.
Yeah. I just don't want to be him. Chad said, just felt like every game Henry would have 14 carries for 40 yards and then he'd have a 70-yard TD and smash. Isn't that every running back?
It's.
Remember we argued about this on the betting show because you would go, well, if you took out that 160-yard carry, and I would go, that's most of these huge games. Like nobody ever just gets 12, 12, 12, 12.
Well, that's the other
right?
thing too.
They get 4, 3, 1, 0, 70, and then they average 12.
If he was getting 12 yards a carry, he'd have a lot more carries to 70-yard touchdowns. He would average like 2,500 yards a season. You wouldn't get him.
You understand my point, though. Like every single running back is usually buoyed by the big play. So, like, I'm not worried about.
Wow, I really like how he pivoted on that first team. Not getting Burrow, going Hurts and Devontae Smith there. I like that.
It's a pretty badass pivot, actually.
Yeah, I like that. Smart move.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Switch back over, pick 55.
So, Steve, back to Derrick Henry says that's for sure why being with the Ravens is so key for him. He will always have 2 TD potential. Go ahead.
Here's our dilemma here, spread if they get here.
We're taking Hampton if he's still on the board. That's crazy.
Or RJ Harvey.
We're taking a running back here, right?
Yeah, it'd be Hampton or Harvey. But Hampton's guaranteed to split with Najee. RJ Harvey might take over the backfield from Estime and McLaughlin.
I don't care, man. We're taking RJ Harvey, but I almost want Travion Henderson.
We might be able to get him on the
just off the idea that Hampton's a way better football player, right?
He is for sure, but Harvey's no slouch. Harvey was, I think, of all the running backs everyone talked about, I think he was the most overlooked running back out of the entire group. Solid years every year in college. Very, very good either way. Can catch the ball out of the backfield and could run it well. I think he's the perfect running back for that system in Denver. And we know Sean Payton will play these rookies and just give them all the run. He talked up RJ Harvey like he talked up Bo Nix, and we see what he let Bo Nix do.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm not hating that. I'm just saying if they were both on the board, I would have taken Hampton. And I think it's a fun debate, and we have this multiple times, right? Do we take the better player or the better opportunity, right? Because there's so many players that I think are better running backs than James Conner, but we'd rather have James Conner because of the opportunities. But there's so many players that I think they're better running backs. Like, for example, David Montgomery, I think is a better running back than James Conner, just in a vacuum. But James Conner is worth way more in fantasy. All right, let's catch up on the chat real quick.
I'm going to flip back over because we're up in 4. So
it's kind of hard to catch up on the chat when we're doing this one, huh? All right, who are we looking at? Judkins?
We can go any way we want right here.
You know I want Judkins, right? You know
I'd be down for Judkins. I'd be down for Judkins. I want
Judkins, Olave, Caleb Johnson.
That'd be pretty much it for me right there.
What about Debo?
There's only one guy in front of us. It's Judkins or Olave.
So we don't even need to consider Debo?
I don't think so. I think he could have his time. Well, they left Judkins on the board for us, so.
Okay, thank you. Let's take that. All right, so talk to me about why we took Judkins over Debo there.
I just think if Debo's motivated, he could be a great pick there. But he's still going to have those weeks where he just plays and gets you dud games where he does absolutely nothing for you. So I'm staying away. It's still going to be a scary Terry-led offense. Like, Terry's going to be the one. And Judkins is going to be the running back 1 in Cleveland. Like, it's not going to be Jerome Ford. Sampson isn't going to be the RB1. Judkins is going to fill in that Nick Chubb role. You got to think they want to run the ball with the quarterback room they have. So I like the Judkins pick. I think he's one of the better running backs.
I do too. The argument for Debo would just be that offense is going to be so much better than Cleveland's offense.
Yeah. But we know Cleveland's going to be running the ball as much.
Who do you think will have a better record at the end of the year, Cleveland or Pittsburgh? Assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't go there. You think Pittsburgh?
Probably still Pittsburgh.
I wonder. This could be the year you've been waiting for, bro. This could finally.
I hope so, but I just don't see it coming. They're gonna find a way.
You know what's so funny is even off a 4-13 year, I wonder if my guy's still safe.
Switch back over. So we're up in about 4. Go Shakir. I wouldn't mind Caleb Johnson. I wouldn't mind Diggs. I wouldn't mind Jacoby Myers. Oh, look, spread 97 and 98.
Loveland will be ahead by the end. I mean, we talked about.
All right, do we want to go Diggs? We have 3 running backs. We only have 2 wide receivers. And we're getting.
I'd rather have Caleb Johnson, but we have to take Diggs because it's just.
And we're getting a wide receiver 1 here, so let's take Diggs.
I hate to do it. You know how hard it is to leave Caleb Johnson on the board?
It is hard to leave Caleb, but we have Derrick Henry, RJ Harvey.
That's why I was sitting there and I was going, I wish we would have taken a wide receiver with that first pick, right? Because then we could have had Puka and then thrown Caleb in there. And I almost think that would be a little better than what we got. But we have a nice Baltimore stack. What's up?
It's Derrick Henry. You don't pass.
Bro, we have so much Derrick Henry. You know how much
we got Derrick Henry and I know we could win the big money on underdog and the big money in this pre-contest. I think it was $200K. Yeah. Can't get that $2 million that's going to first without Derrick Henry spread.
All right. You're loving Derrick Henry. All right. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. We good? We got time,
go for it. We are up in 9 picks.
He's talking about Josh Allen. Allen has been a scary click at his price with the Bills, actively trying to limit his wear and tear. All right, good point. The goal line roll, talking about Derrick Henry again in Baltimore, the goal line roll is epic. Sus Edwards says the case would be, and I'm talking about Daniels being the first quarterback taken in the current draft that we're doing.
He was also taken 26th overall in this draft, right at the beginning of the third round.
Yeah, but that's a get your guys thing deal, right? Because he wasn't coming back.
That he did grab Scary Terry in the second round. So, yeah, that is the reason why he went so early. We're up in 4 picks also, so I'm going to switch this board over.
Okay. The case will be Daniels has way more rushing yard than Josh Allen, despite the rib injury limiting a bit, can also take a second-year leap. Still think Lamar has to be QB1. Well, I hope you're right, Sus, because that's who our quarterback is. For this best ball draft, brought to you by Fanspeak.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please give us a thumbs up. Where are we going, Tyler?
I mean, I think we go wide receiver again, spread.
We have to go wide receiver. We're hurting.
Just judging by the market. And Matthew Golden comes off the board before Jaden Reed, and I think that's kind of wrong.
Which is stupid. It's way wrong.
I think that's wrong.
I think they're going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if their stats are really close at the end of the year, but I think Jaden's way safer. Way safer.
I won't want it. I would rather have Jaden, which of course he just goes. So now we're gonna.
No way.
Yeah, we're gonna debate between Pickens and Ayuk.
No, we got to take a tight end now.
So we're taking Loveland.
We have to, unless we want Ayuk or Pickens. I guess.
Look
no. I guess you can.
No, dude, I think I'd rather have Loveland. I will get Likely as the stack.
Okay, thank you.
And just looking by the situation, and
so the only other ones that we consider would be Pickens or Ayuk. What do you think?
I don't hate taking Ayuk. Soft schedule. I think he bounces back.
I think he gets traded.
Let's take him.
All right.
We'll get our tight end.
We're hurting at tight end, Tyler. We are hurting at tight end.
We'll be fine, Spread. We'll be fine. We got this.
All right.
We're working our magic right now, Spread.
What do you guys think? Chat, let us know. With the way that we built, would you rather have Loveland or Ayuk there? Or was there someone that we're missing? All right. So we just did Sus's Edwards case for Jaden Daniels. I think you made a good point. Steve says, this will be the make or break year for Lawrence. Finally gets a good offensive coach and now has 2 elite weapons. I mean, I am with these offensive coordinators. And it's a good so I was interrupted earlier because we're drafting and talking to the chat. But I was listening to a pod and the guy made a good point. About 70% of these hot offensive coordinators burned out, right? For every Kyle Shanahan, for every Matt LaFleur, there's a Mike McDaniels, whichever one he is, Josh McDaniels, Adam Gase. You guys can help me out in the chat, but you understand my point, right? There's just so many that just end up not doing good. Being an offensive coordinator and being a head coach are different. So I don't know if Cohen is necessarily, hey, there's a chance that he's going to be a great, great coach. But just looking at the history with these hotshot OCs, it's about a 30% chance. All right. We got time for a couple more comments, and I'll hit back there. Sean Payton always uses committees. Harvey's not going to get some CMC workload. Okay, but even in a committee, he could be a really effective player there.
And the committee's going to be bad behind him. We've seen all those guys last year. They didn't look good.
He has a good point, though, where Estimate could get all the goal line work. All right, let's say what's up to Who Hames, and let's go back to our thing and figure out who we want. And then I'll head back to the chat. So, hey, guys, we appreciate you guys for throwing those comments in there. I know I'm a little behind today. It's easier for us to catch up on the chat when we're drafting 11 like we seem to do every pick in every draft before this one. All right, Tyler. No way. Did we just get saved?
All of them are still there.
All right,
we're getting one of them.
Then. We are set. You can even get Evan Ingram.
We could do that, but
I think he's going to do good this year.
But Nix is already gone.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, we should think of a backstack here, too. Do we have anything set up? Penix hasn't gone yet, right?
No, Penix is not gone yet. We can get Pitts as a backup tight end. Yeah. As much as I hate to click that button.
Bro.
Which one?
Loveland, right?
I just like the quarterback situation better.
And we
Like,
already have a shitload of Tyler Warren. So if I end up being right about that, it's not like we're not going to get paid from it.
Would it surprise you if you see some stat come out like 12 weeks through the season when Warren has like 300 receiving yards and they're like, by this random stat, Warren's been the most open tight end in the entire NFL, but his quarterbacks can't get him the ball. And it's like, great.
Or I wouldn't be surprised if Jonathan Taylor is sitting here going, I rushed for so many carries because this guy is the best blocker. I mean, the thing about Tyler Warren is he was considered to be an all-around tight end, a George Kittle type of player, because the reason everyone puts Kittle on number 1 on their tight end rankings is because of his ability to block, because he blocks like an offensive lineman. So if you can get that while still being a receiving threat, it's hard. You don't want to be labeled a blocking tight end like Dawson Knox, or we had some other guy, right? I mean, Loveland's going to have way more opportunities as a receiver. So let's see if he can be this year's Sam Laporta / Brock Bowers. All right, we're going to head to here. We said what's up to Who Hames. Mr. Wine Cooler says, nice to see someone doing a little DK content. Glad to have you here, buddy. Every Tuesday we do DQ. We go to Dairy Queen every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we do DK. Of course, the rest of the Fanspeak Network is sponsored by Underdog. So we're kind of like the redheaded stepchild. Did they ban the tush push? I don't think so.
No, they didn't ban it. Teams tried to vote to get it banned. It did not get banned.
All right. Bartles and James, Mr. Wine Cooler says, I have Lamar.
I'm going to have to talk about this next one. This is going to be hard.
Pardon?
This is going to be hard to keep you off the board. Look at the board.
I love like every pick on this board right now.
The battle of which one of our guys is going to go right here.
Well, I mean, if this team's going to be good, it's going to be because Loveland was a good pick. So I don't think we double tap tight end here. I think we just hope that we got the Brock Bowers of the year.
I agree.
We're not taking Mark Andrews either. Let's not even discuss that.
No.
Jordan Love.
You want to take Love as our backup quarterback?
Yeah, I'll take Trey Harris. I'll take Dak. I'll take Drake because we have Diggs.
Oh, we should have did that. We agreed on Love first.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Messed that one up.
Because we didn't get Jaden Reed, did we?
No, we didn't get Jaden Reed, but we can get Kraft on the turnaround, hopefully.
That'd be nice. Okay. So we'll back Sexton Packers out. I think Jordan Love and CJ Stroud are ridiculously underrated in this format. I would rather have them. I would have Justin Fields went ahead of CJ Stroud. You got to be kidding me, bro.
Justin Fields, Jared Goff, Purdy, Nix. I mean, Purdy, Nix, and these guys, it's understandable.
I would rather have Stroud and Love over all of them until we get to Kyler. And I even think, would you be that shocked if Love and Stroud have better years than Kyler? Not to mention, who's got a better chance of going off in the playoffs?
Playoffs don't matter.
I'd rather have Jordan Love. I'm talking about our best ball playoffs because Kyler always fades.
Yeah, Kyler fades. Jordan Love picks up at the end of the year.
He's just too beat up.
Tucker Kraft goes. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I actually like that guy's team. All right, well, we're going to get someone good coming back. I mean, we can almost grab a third QB. Who's our first? Oh, Lamar's our first one. Never mind. That'd be a total waste of draft capital. Okay.
We're grabbing one of the Baltimore tight ends right here, probably. I
let's go back to the screen and let's figure out our next pick. I think we're good at running back. I think we should
only have 3 running backs.
Tight ends. Yeah, but they're all studs.
They're going to give us our choice of the Baltimore tight ends, aren't they?
We're taking Likely.
I agree. He's going to go off. He's going to go. We're going to get the pick, Andrews. I know it. Oh, nope. Andrews is gone. Spread this
Thank God. I almost want Trey Harris here, though.
I'd rather have Bateman for the stack.
You don't think that's too much Baltimore at that point? Well, no, because
we're taking Likely, right?
Let's take
It
Trey
sucks
Harris,
Drake
bro.
May made it all the way back around 2, and we have Love.
We can still take him.
But we need a tight end, or we
don't really need anything. Take whoever you want. I'm going to use the bathroom. Let me know.
Let's
I
take
can hear
Likely.
you still, though.
take Likely.
You took
We're going Likely.
Why?
Feel
Tell everyone why you took Likely.
I just feel like he's going to have those big games. And if Mark Andrews does fall off or for some reason gets traded or cut in the offseason, then we have the tight end 1 in Baltimore. We know they love to use their tight end. So we have their top running back, their quarterback who likes to run a lot, their wide receiver 1, and their tight end, possibly 1 or 2, who sees a lot of playing time. So I like it. They score a lot of points. Injuries could happen, of course, but if one injury happens, we still have a lot of other pieces on that offense. So it's something we can keep an eye on. And,
right. I mean, to a certain extent, injuries can happen to anyone, right?
yeah, but it's also one of those things where we could benefit having all these guys from one injury. Oh, Zay Flowers goes down. Likely gets 3 more targets a game. Henry gets a couple more carries. Lamar's rushing the ball more.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the quarterback running back combo and the ping pong idea, I think we really did a good job there. All right,
we know Baltimore's one of those teams that when they play bad teams, they don't let off. They will put 50 on a bad team and not care.
Yeah, they're definitely bullies. What do you agree with our guy Cooler's rankings? He's got Daniels 2nd, Hurts 3rd. I don't think there's any. I would put Allen 2nd there. I know that they're going to try and limit his wear and tear, but still,
we're up next.
I mean,
I'll answer your question right after our pick.
It's fine. I just wanted to give him some feedback. I mean, it's cool that they're hanging out with us here.
Do we want to go
on the Fanspeak Network?
Jaden Blue, Texas running back, or do we want to go Tajay Spears? Jaden Blue is going to be a rookie going into Dallas to compete with Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Tajay Spears is going to be a catching running back for
Tajay Spears sucked last year. Let's take Jaden Blue.
Okay.
Bro, do you remember how much Tajay Spears we took? And then week 2, Tony Pollard was just way better. I was
Tony Pollard's the better running back, but Tajay Spears can catch the ball out of the backfield and play well that way. And we know Cam Ward, as much as he loves the third downfield, he will check down if nothing's open. Clyde asked, do the Ravens have a second running back? Yeah, we drafted him. His name's Lamar Jackson.
Huham says Loveland comes back a lot, and that actually ended up happening to us.
Loveland came back.
Without looking at the chat, we took his advice. That's pretty cool.
And Warren came back a second time.
I think people are down on Warren. I think his ADP is
going to quarterback situation.
Yeah, it's just the worst landing spot.
Quarterback situation is absolutely terrible.
Yeah. So, all right. Edwards says some fun tight end targets later. Kraft, Njoku, Warren, or Strange, Mason Taylor, Hunter Henry.
Making that Jordan Love over Drake May pick's going to haunt me because we could have drafted May, had him with Diggs, and then drafted Henry later.
Yeah, I know. Well, whatever.
We're up in 3.
All right, I'm going to read this comment, and you figure out who we're going to draft. I like the talent and Harvey pick. This was in regard to the Hampton snap share versus Harvey. Snap share. Okay, so he likes the Harvey pick because of the better snap share. As a Jags fan, are you avoiding Jags? Who's the Jags fan?
All right, I need your opinion here.
All right.
Ray Davis or Rico Dowdle? They're both backups, but I think that one of them could easily. Of course, injury they're going to take over, but James Cook's got the contract situation.
Well, if it's not BS about them limiting the workload, I think that Ray Davis is the best goal line back.
Yeah, so he could score a lot of touchdowns. That's why I like clicking his name. We might even be able to get Rico Dowdle on the next turn.
We can get Romeo Dubes on the next pick.
Could do that also, yeah.
I think we should go for him just for a little bit of correlation.
And then we'll grab some Christian Watson last pick of the draft.
I love Dubes in this format too, because you don't have to worry about starting him in those 3 weeks. He goes off, he jumps in your lineup, and the other 4.
Very true. The 3 weeks he catches 2 touchdowns.
He might catch 3 some weeks. I mean, when he goes off, he goes off. When he finds a matchup he likes, they will feed him. Yeah. We just got to worry about him showing up to work. All right. Mr. Cooler says, I also like Stroud and Love with a 300-yard bonus. Yeah, and they're just so undervalued on this. I'm glad we agree on that.
I got Jamie in the
extra
chat.
3 points matters for sure. It does. Trivia. The average human does this about 20,000 times per day. Think about fantasy football. All right, let me go. What do we got here, Tyler? What are we picking?
Next. Down for some Rico
Dubs.
We're Dubs, yeah.
Yeah. All right, if that's the case, I'm going to go back to the chat. We already know.
Dubes. If for some reason Dubes gets picked right here, we'll take Dowdle.
Yeah, Jamie's in the chat, and I caught up with the chat. So, guys, we thank you guys for being active while we're here just chit-chatting and arguing about our picks. All right, Dubes, that was easy.
Got the correlation there.
Strange is a great steal here at 169.
I agree there, too. Freiermuth also just keeps falling down these boards, and God, I hate him as a player. But at some point, the dude's too far down. Especially if Rodgers is going to be the quarterback.
I agree, man. Oh, he just went. Someone's listening to our show. Who do we go with next?
I seen a post on Twitter that was about that. They were like, what's all the Freiermuth hate? And somebody commented on it and said, I would literally rather take a 0 than click on Pat Freiermuth's name.
Well, that's stupid.
It's like, at least I'm not the only guy that doesn't like this guy. My hate's warranted, though, Spread. We drafted him over all-pro center Creed Humphrey when we needed a center in Pittsburgh. After we were mocked all summer to draft Creed Humphrey in the first round, we pass on him in the first, and he gets to us in the second, and we take a tight end.
What? Yeah, it was a pretty bad pick. What are you excited about the pick you guys got at 21, the D lineman?
He's pretty good, solid. I think that's when they got on the board. I was like, I wanted D lineman. I wanted possibly Will Johnson until I heard the leg problems when he fell down the board. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the pick replaces Cam Hayward in the long run. That kid is also a stud. He will fill up the middle. So I like their pick at 21.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad pick. It's just so disappointing because at the end of the day, like, you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. So they're going to be awesome again this year, and like 52 guys are going to be awesome.
Braylon Allen,
right?
Yeah.
Or Jalen Noel.
I would say Samson, but I don't want him with.
No, Judkins. But we already have Judkins.
And the other problem is
you don't handcuff in best ball. We're right.
Not even just that. You might be handcuffing the handcuff because Jerome Ford might be RB2.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if we didn't have any Cleveland correlation, you can consider him. You know, hey, maybe he ends up winning, but no. I like Jalen Noel here, though. I think we could have taken him.
I like him.
I also like Jalen Wright on this board right now.
Yeah, we'll go to one of those two routes on the comeback. We should be back around pretty quick. Scroll down, see how the board plays out. See if they let us get our guys. There goes Hopkins.
For the Clyde trivia, Mr. Cooler says breathe 20,000 times a day.
It's either that, blink. There's only so many things you can do.
Yeah, it's probably blink. Maybe your heartbeats. I don't know. I could feel your heartbeat fast.
Like, see, Fred, this is how much people hate Freiermuth. Somebody sold him for a round 4, pick 8 in a rookie draft.
Oh, dude, I got to jump on with Justin and Andrew. We're starting a dynasty league, and I need to talk to people with experience. Like this was correct when I was eating hella
Fred,
sugar.
You guys got your new coach, or is this your new coach? Or no, new assistant general manager for the Sacramento Kings.
Who? The idiot that sold Freiermuth? Probably. This is probably this guy right here. It's our new. Who?
BJ Armstrong.
Huh.
We're up in 1 pick.
Kings are so stupid.
All right, so Noel is
what
gone.
Do we need? What are we at? 2.652?
We can go wide receiver.
We need a wide receiver. Who are we taking? We need a wide receiver. Yavasis?
Yoshi
Is there any
Vosh.
correlations we can get it? Pat Bryant, but he's going to be around. We're targeting him. We're targeting
Leave
Wicks.
Wicks there for later.
Yeah.
Pray to God he catches the ball.
Yeah, that's.
What's tight end look like?
For that.
I don't mind Terrence Ferguson.
Screw tight end. We're good at tight end. Grab a wide receiver. Yoshivas, is that how you say his name? I'm down for Tyler Lockett too, if you want him.
Yeah, because their wide receiver room's so
Bro,
bad.
pick 200, and he's a way better player than anyone else on the board.
My worry about when I click on Yoshi Vosh's name is like the dude never gets more than like 4 catches, and it legit takes these Like if you don't get these touchdowns,
and if that kid Burton stays awake during the meetings, Yoshivas will lose.
Burton's a lost cause. He's done, gone.
You really think so?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's cut.
As a second-year player?
Yes.
Bro, he must be a jerk.
They say he is, like, bad.
Huh.
He's asking, where does Amari Cooper go?
Where does Amari Cooper go? Good question.
He's up here on the board, I believe. I've seen his name.
Bro,
206.
Come back to Vegas. Don't you think you should come back to Vegas?
I think he's going to go back to Dallas.
As a fantasy, that'd be better. Okay, Dallas number 1, but fantasy landing spot, Vegas has to be number 2, right? Like, where could be better? I mean, the Chargers and Broncos. Maybe
the thing is what it all depends on what Pete Carroll would want to do with them, because
he would run routes.
They're going to want to put Beck out there, this new rookie. There goes Amari Cooper in this draft just now. They're going to want to use
okay, so whatever pick that was. He goes at 195 there, Mr. Edwards. But here's my thing. Myers and Betch kind of run the same slot type of routes, but Cooper can be an X and go out wide.
Yeah, I mean, that is.
Then you can run 4 wide receiver sets with Beck and Myers still in there. Right now we can't because they're not talented enough. Yoshi
Vosh. Do we want to go and get one more rookie running back in Devin Neal? Finish off the rookie running back room.
I almost think Coker's better.
Let's go Coker.
Than Iovashis.
No. At least Coker can get on the field more. Yoshi Vosh is legit touchdown or bust. I know Coker's pretty much right there with him, but
who's more likely to have a breakout? Who's more likely to move up 100 spots on the draft board and be drafted and pick 100, not pick 200 next year? I definitely think it's Coker. Like, we know what Yoshivas is, right?
It's probably Coker.
Number 3 on a great offense.
He can overtake the wide receiver 2 role in Carolina. And Yoshivas isn't beating out Chase or Higgins, and they're not going anywhere. So
exactly, yeah. And even if one of Chase or Higgins sits, the other guy's just going to get targeted like crazy. Mm-hmm. Like when Chase was guarded by Surtain and Higgins got 17 targets. It's not like the ball gets fed around. Yeah, like Burrow doesn't need to worry about the locker room.
No.
He's so cool. Oh, Pat Bryant with our next pick.
Okay. Then we're done with the wide receivers. That'll give us 8.
You know who I like in this later rounds too is Mostert. Don't you think he can maybe return to his little touchdown vulture role?
I think that, and also we know Pete Carroll likes to use 2 running backs.
And we also, I know I hate to sound like Meg here, but are we sure about Genty's durability? Pat Bryant. I mean, it's not even a question. It's a little different getting tackled by the NFL than getting tackled by guys from Fresno State.
No, I agree.
Right? He's not even coming from the SEC. So. All right. Seth Edwards says Cooper was at Max Crosby's draft party and was never even his teammate. Dude, I think he's a jerk, but if he comes back like on a vet minimum, I'll take him. I just didn't like him as our top paid player. But for a good price, he would be great. So landing spots, I would say Dallas 1, Chargers 2, Broncos 3, then Raiders.
Chargers ain't gonna sign him just because they have McConkey, Trey Harris, And they picked back up Mike Williams, who kind of fits that Cooper role.
Yeah, and they probably signed Keenan Allen. Mr. Edwards says
So it'd be Vegas, Dallas, and
Washington
who's the other team you named?
Denver. Because you're number 2 behind Cortland Sutton. That's pretty good.
Could be that, but they seem to like these young guys, and it seems like they're running almost like a rotation of them out there.
Yeah, I mean, could be Marvin Mims breakout. Jamie says
Mims,
Genty doesn't get
Bailey,
tackled just like Bo Jackson. Yeah, against Sac State.
Franklin's going to get
see how he does.
He just got picked.
Let's see how he does in the actual NFL. To be fair, he looked great against Oregon, though.
You got anything on this
one? But he didn't look good in the other one that I'm thinking of. He played 2 top teams this year. One of them, he didn't look good. The other one, he looked great.
Korsky Merritt, New Mexico running back that plays for Washington, was just taken. Interesting. He knows something.
You might as well roll the dice, because the thing is you're free rolling there. Because let's say he spikes into a lineup during the playoffs, like nobody else is going to have him.
Agreed.
Bro, do we have our third tight end? Let's take that Arroyo guy. We got to take Wicks.
No, we're done with wide receivers. We're done with wide receivers. You want to go
Arroyo or Mostert then?
Let's go Arroyo.
All right. Yeah, he's got a better chance of getting into our lineup than a running back is. We got a good lineup here. Ha! Seeing Jimmy G's name on the board. That was the best. That was the best clown you got on me all month. When you said Fred wants Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders because they'll be Jimmy G 2.0.
Throws everything underneath.
That was a good one. Is this our last pick coming up?
Yeah. So we can get our third quarterback or our third tight end. I would much rather have, or we can get our third quarterback or our 7th running back.
And of course, the Jackers run down back. We go faster.
Depending how this board falls, I mean, it is the last round. A third quarterback would be nice, but like at the same time, or I would take another running back like Smith in Kansas City. Like, are we really scared of Pacheco and Kareem Hunt? Pacheco didn't look the same after the broken leg.
Yeah, I bet you he looks better this year, though. I bet you
he does too, but just that slight chance that he doesn't.
I mean,
like, how often is Shedeur Sanders?
Round 20, we're not going to be able to make good arguments for anybody. So
how often is Shedeur Sanders or Tyler Shaw going to beat out Lamar Jackson?
Hey, what about Luke Musgrave? Oh, we already took another tight end.
Yeah, we don't need a tight end.
I was thinking of dumpster diving for correlation here.
I think dumpster diving the running back.
Is there any
is the job right now?
We should dumpster dive wide receiver. Our wide receivers are weaker than. And they told me the Bears didn't draft a running back. Let's get him, bro.
Like trying to read the stats. They said he offers next to nothing in the pass game. Let's go Smith. Kansas City offense. We seen Kareem Hunt bust out as a late round pick.
Bro, it's hard to make good arguments for any of these players.
Listen, Spread. I had a guy at work. No bullshit, excuse my language. Would draft Puka his rookie year every year in the last round of his best ball drafts. Mind you, I don't think he made much money off of this, but he only drafted him because of his name. And he looked like an absolute genius in every fantasy draft because he was drafting this dude in the last round. And he was the 3rd best wide receiver that year?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the best, like, exceeding ADPs of all time. Was there ever a higher jump in ADP?
No.
I don't know if I can think of one.
Because he was going undrafted in most drafts.
I mean, we'd have to go back like years before Best Ball Mania started, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Edwards says Krosky Merritt is a super explosive bath, 95 percentile burst score. If B-Rob doesn't have juice, JCM could push for late season touches. All right, so he liked that pick. We should keep him on our radar, Tyler.
Yeah, because he's way down the board. He's ranked 332, so he probably doesn't go in a lot of drafts. Like, if that guy wouldn't have took him in round 19, I bet you that guy doesn't get drafted.
All right, cool. Well, that's it for us, huh? Is anyone in the chat want us to talk about their team? I don't know if anyone drafted with us today. The only one I would think would be Spunky.
I don't think anyone
What's
drafted
Spunky's
us. Let's
name
look at the
again?
names real quick.
Spunky's drafted with us before, but his name isn't
No, I
Spunky
don't.
on there.
Yeah, no, Spunky is right here.
Okay, let's talk about his team. All right, we just talked about Puka Nakua and Brian Thomas. So
I love his first four.
I knew you would. You know the one that I don't like, right?
Marv.
I would have taken Devontae over Marv.
Marv's a wide receiver one, though. That's the thing, spread.
Who cares about wide receiver one if you can't get open?
I mean, he was open. Kyler couldn't hit him.
No, he was not. His separation
some of the time he was open.
Terrible. His separation's great. He got Travion Henderson, Roma. He's got all our favorite players. You can tell he
got Kyler to go with Marv.
Bro, all these are just like Fanspeak darlings.
Scatterbo, Jordan Mason,
Evan Ingram, Trevor.
He gets his T-Law. He gets his he gets his staff.
How many years are we going to do this, Trevor?
He gets all three of his quarterbacks he needed for his correlation. Gets Ferguson.
Yeah. You got the guy Jalen Noel we were talking about. Remember, I told you I liked him in that range.
He took Mostert. He was listening to the show in the background.
Well, that's fine. I think Mostert's a great pick in the 20th round.
Yeah. Any other of these teams you really want to touch on?
If anyone else, Meg's excited for JCM.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right, Spunky. We just talked about your team. Great job, man. Stop drafting with us. You're taking all my favorite guys. And that's it for us. What do you think of this comment? Rashad White goes late. He's still a good running back. You agree?
I fully agree.
Yeah.
I also think
I'm so shocked that Bucky Irving ended up being
Todd Bowles has shown that if a running back fumbles and has some problems, he will go away from him. Rashad White had that one big fumble in the Dallas game.
And all of a sudden Bucky Irvin's like Todd Gurley.
Yeah, it just so happened to be the fumble that cost them the game, so it looked absolutely terrible. Bucky Irving takes over the entire backfield. Let Bucky Irving twist an ankle or fumble the ball in that situation this coming year, you might see Rashad White get a lot more touches again.
Yeah. All right. That's it for us, huh, Tyler?
Yep.
4 p.m. next week?
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Fanspeak.com, guys. If you see on the bottom of the screen, the Best Ball subscription goes live tomorrow. It's only $35 for the whole year. So it's just a one-time payment. You're no monthly bills. You don't have to worry about recurring credit card payments and your wife asks, what's that? It's just $135 deal. I think lap dances are more expensive now. So make sure you head on over to fanspeak.com. Get there early. Best Ball subscription goes live. Tyler, final words.
Yeah, I think we had a good draft. I like our team a lot. I really wish I'd make that Drake May pick instead of the Jordan Love one. I think that's the
I almost wish we would have taken a wide receiver in the first, and then we could have got, some running backs later. We could have got Caleb in the other spot. But
we could have, but I really like the Baltimore stack, and I feel like if we would have, because then we would have grabbed Diggs. If we would have plugged in May right here, we could have, instead of Dubes, probably grabbed someone else there. We would have got Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I think my way's safer. I think this way probably has more upside.
Yeah. I want the $2 million spread. I want to buy the property across the street from you and the one down the street. And then just box you in.
Buy the one next door would be so sweet.
Yeah, it's what we're trying to win here.
All right. On that note, we'll be back next. Oh, let me check the comments real quick.
Some NBA questions.
Lots of volume there for two backs. They don't trust anyone outside of White and Irving. Tim says, how much does Ant dominate the Warriors tonight? Well, Tim, check my Twitter page. NBA Rundown goes live in a half hour. We will see you next week.